And now to the political drama unfolding in South Africa. The nation still awaits to hear the fate of President Jacob Zuma. Rene del Carme has this update.
The ANC, which has long been plagued by division and factionalism, was expected to decide on an exit strategy for Jacob Zuma on Wednesday. Journalists from around the world waited for hours at South Africa's parliament in Cape Town, expecting to be addressed by ANC President Cyril Ramaphosa or anyone in the ANC leadership to shed light on President Jacob Zuma's future and the way forward for South Africa. President Zuma and his government ministers met for cabinet meetings at Parliament all day on Wednesday and were determined to show that they were conducting business as usual.
He's going with his work, and if there's anything that needs to be updated from the point of a party point of view, they will. Hence, yesterday we've said from cabinet point of view, work continues. We've had our meetings as cabinet. Tomorrow we are continuing. Next week we have a cabinet meeting. We'll do a press briefing.
Ramaphosa issued a written statement saying that he and President Jacob Zuma had begun constructive discussions on Tuesday night regarding President Zuma's position and would report back to the ANC and the South African nation in the coming days. Meanwhile, opposition parties, which welcomed the unprecedented postponement of the State of the Nation address, said the ANC could not hold the nation to ransom. They said South Africa could not be allowed to grind to a halt while the ANC fights its internal battles. Rene del Carme, CGTN, Cape Town, South Africa.
Well, let's go live now to Johannesburg, South Africa, where CGTN's Angelo Coppola is standing by with the very latest on this situation. Angelo, of course, the latest that we're hearing is that there's now an audio recording of Paul Mashatile, who is the ANC treasurer, giving some insights into a rather defiant Zuma. What more can you tell us about this?
Well, that audio was reportedly or allegedly recorded at a side event at the mining indaba, which is currently underway in Cape Town, probably at a dinner event to which the media, of course, weren't invited. But thanks to some intrepid guests, the Chatham House rules that generally apply in these types of situations didn't apply here. Mashatile provides some insights not only into Zuma's defiance, but also a loss of patience by the top six. And this is based on the Sunday night meeting that the top six had with Mr. Zuma. He also very clearly reminded guests at the indaba that the top six were voted into position while Zuma was deployed, and as such could be and should be redeployed. Zuma, of course, is defiant, according to Mashatile, and he appeared to distance himself, that is Mr. Zuma, from the top structures of the ANC. That's if Mashatile is to be believed. Whether Zuma was displaying an arrogance or defensiveness is unclear at this time, but the fact is that it appears from the Sunday night meeting that Mr. Zuma is not moving. And has that position changed since Sunday? Well, we're not sure. We have to rely on what Mr. Ramaphosa is telling us.
And indeed, this loss of patience, of course, extends far beyond the top six. The whole country really is on the edge of its seats. What is the impact of all this political uncertainty in South Africa? And just how long can the country withstand this Zuma turbulence?
Well, there's concern, anxiety, there's some resignation, and that's just within the ANC. On a broader level, though, the national psyche seems to be a bit battered and bruised. People are worn out emotionally. The sense is that the country wants to move on, and after the Mashatile audio tape, there are conspiracy theorists who are now making their views heard. They're wondering what's making Mr. Zuma so arrogant or so defiant. What does he hold? What information does he have in his files that is making the ANC leadership, especially the top six, pussyfoot around him? So we're waiting to hear what's happening there. On the other hand, some are wondering if Mr. Zuma actually has anything and whether he's just being defiant because that's his nature. We are, though, heading to a big weekend now. The opposition parties have said that if Mr. Zuma's resignation isn't on the table by Sunday night or Monday morning at the latest, they're going to request an earlier date for that no-confidence debate. And if that's the case and there's no resolution, we might find the ANC party supporting that no-confidence debate move earlier. Lindy?
Well, indeed, more turbulence expected in the days and weeks to come. Thanks very much, Angelo Coppola, live for us there in Johannesburg.